Thank you. Not too loud. Thank you. Uh-oh, they filled in the front row of the room, the theater. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you're in for it. Are you ready? You never know. I'm the kind of comic. You don't know which way I'm gonna. I'm a dangerous fucking man up here. You ready for some fucking crowd work? Too bad I don't do it. Don't do that kind of act. I'm afraid of all of you people. If you see crowd work tonight, that means that something terrible has happened. And then you will find yourself in a comedian destroys heckler video. You've seen those. You've seen those on TikTok. Vertical style, the way comedy was meant to be. Comedian calls in airstrike on the village of heckler. Not me. Not me. If anything, if it happens tonight, there's gonna be a video that pops up and it'll be like, comedian negotiates with heckler. Comes to reasonable arrangement. Don't try me though, don't try me. This special is a long time coming. I've been edging it. I've been doing comedy for 20 years. Don't worry, I'll make it look like 2. At a certain point, you gotta take matters in your own hands. I'm not gonna wait for a network to say, yeah, we're gonna give you a comedy special. No, do it yourself, DIY. I can do anything that a network can do. I find the right people, I can produce the special myself, I can edit it myself. You're all here, we're doing it. And then when it's all done, I can pass on it, just like a network. I am tired of bars in America that have been ruined by the TV show Bar Rescue. If you're not familiar, it's a TV show hosted by John Taffer, a Gotham City madman who goes around and finds popular drinking establishments around the country that are just having a little bit of trouble, and he shows up and there's a loud, large bully with no talents except the wrong advice for a bar. We need TVs everywhere. That's always the recommendation. Every time you open a door in this place, you should be confronted with a television. Every game, every sport, TV, TV, TV. That's what makes women want to drink. He's a self-proclaimed expert in what makes women want to drink. Let me tell you what makes women want to drink. Nobody I trust more in that regard than someone who could talk pedantically down to a grown-up, responsible alcoholics as if they're children. I watched a lot of the episodes because I waste my life, and given the pandemic that just happened, a lot of the advice leading right up to it was really bad. He was going into bars and being like, people are too spread out here. We need close quarters. Jam them together, okay? There's a patio outside. Close it. You're wasting money. Women aren't gonna drink unless they're crammed together at the bottom of the salad plate. There needs to be a television. Shared plates, okay? Am I right? Karaoke and spitting contest. I realized I just kind of stumbled into, like when you were a kid and they were like, coming up, comedy, HBO, and somebody was doing some nonsense thing. And I just did it. I just did it for you. Thank you for joining me here at the Elysian Theater. I don't know if you know this, the Elysian is Armenian. You can tell because it's the IAN at the end of it. It's the Harry and Ani Elysian Foundation. We're very grateful to them. Did Armenians make it here tonight? What? That's, well, okay. They tried to stop us, but we're here tonight at least. Been a rough couple of years for the Armenians worldwide. There was some war crimes committed against us. There was a blockade or two. And then you try to tune into the news, it doesn't get, no matter what happens to Armenians, it doesn't get on the news. You tune into CNN and they're like, the Armenians, we've heard the word, we don't know what they are. Armenians are out there, I guess. If you want to find out more, we suggest you go to tune into the BBC, they'll know. Turn on the BBC, they're not much better. They're like, the Armenians. What really are the Armenians? Armenia, a faraway land, beyond the boundaries of human empathy. Do they truly deserve human rights? To answer this question, we'll be joined this hour by two experts. One of them, a sitting cabinet member in the government of Turkey, and the other, an executive at a petroleum corporation. People are like, he's doing it! He's jamming the Armenian stuff into the special! I know Americans don't care about Armenians. I understand that. But let me try another angle. Americans really do care about a lot Star Wars. So let's try this. Armenians are Wookiees. Large, loud, hairy. They're very good at space chess. Sometimes there's bullets for no reason at all across the chest. Unfortunately, we have a language that's very hard for almost everyone to understand. Only Lord Byron and Han Solo have ever figured it out. No, Chewie, it's not donor, it's Heroes, Chewie. Each person. Some of you are like, James, you don't even look Armenian. Yeah, well, I've been to Armenia. You know what they say there? You don't look Armenian like it. So glad to be here tonight. Yeah, wait till I lose you. So, I've been flying on Delta Airlines lately. No particular loyalty. They're a major corporation like any other, and I think they should be broken up and run by the government. I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. For far too long, the top 1% of the top 10% of the top 1% of the first row has controlled more legroom than the bottom 90% of the right of the bottom. That is the check. So these days, for me, it's Delta. Mostly it's because when I fly there, they call me a Sky Priority. And I like the sound of that. At first, it's too much. You're like, Sky Priority? Please, I'm a regular citizen like everyone else. One man, one vote. I never asked for anything more. Please, my father was a Sky Priority. But then they keep repeating it. They massage your ego with it, with little perks. Oh, right this way, Sky Priority, a slightly shorter line. And then you find yourself agreeing with it, like, well, yes, of course. There's a certain ring to it after all. Sky Priority. There's nothing wrong with that. My mother always said we were destined for greatness. Sky Priority. I think I deserve a separately stanchioned entrance once in a while. Excuse me, are you staring at me? I'm going to move my bag over here. You can look in your own direction. I'm a sky priority, thank you. Well, it means that I'm a priority of these damn skies. All the airlines, they have little categories that they have to compliment you. Make you feel special because you paid too much money or you got lucky and you're in exit row or something. They have these frequent flyer programs. They've been doing these since the 1980s. And it used to start out with just gold. That was the that was what it all was 40 years ago. Congratulations, you're one of our gold members. But they had to pile on more shit to sound more special than that over the years. So at this point, gold status is the lowest category on any air. Gold is the worst. When they board the flight, they're like, we now welcome gold. Boo. Gold will board last in shame. Gold will be stuffed into the fuselage along with the luggage. Now they have all these categories that are outrank gold, and it's when you board the flight, it's just a parade of precious metals and gemstones. To get on the fucking flight, when they board, they're like, we now prepare to welcome aboard all members of the elite Sapphire Squadron. All the rest of you will bow your heads. Contemplate the sacrifice of the Sapphire Squadron. And you will kneel in respect and deference as the Sapphire Squadron. The jetway is yours. Oh, what's this? The sacred horn of the sky? What a rare and lucky day. That means that we have someone that outranks even the Sapphire Squadron. The Sapphire Squadron must yield. Yes, yield, I say. For today we welcome aboard a member of the Hermetic Order of the Platinum Chalice. Whatever it is, there's one guy. He's like, well, yes, I'm Platinum Chalice. I'm wearing my epaulets to prove it. I flew 50,000 miles yesterday. Here's the one extra bag that entitles me to excuse me. I'm a member of the Platinum Chalice. I am a member of the Sapphire Squadron, and I suggest you tread lightly. I am also beloved of this airline. Oh, the Sapphire Squadron, I've heard of you. Out of my way, dog! You will pay for this insolence once the One World Alliance hears of it. That's what's happening on Delta Airlines. That's what's happening in the shadow realm. Get into it. Open your eyes. Open your third eyes. It's true, you might have heard ahead of time if you read the notices in any newspaper that happened to smell like lavender. I am a notorious homosexual. Well, you know who's gay now. Everybody's cheering. I'm a friend of Dorothy. That's just a bartender at the bar I go to. I don't always, I'm confused people sometimes. I don't always look or sound gay places I go. Sometimes I get taken for an undercover cop at a pride parade. I get it. I'm okay with that. I understand why. I show up oftentimes with a backpack. I'm taller than 6 feet tall. That's what an undercover cop looks like. And I ask a lot of questions when I show up places. I'm like, hey, you guys are all gay, right? Yeah, me too. I'm gay. I'm definitely... Oh, I'm for sure gay. Yeah, whoa. It's so fun being gay, isn't it? Yeah. I forgot everybody's name. Could you repeat your name for me? I just forgot your name, that's all. Do you guys like Puerto Vallarta? Me too. What'd you bring back? Do you want to party? Do you have stuff to party with? I'm gay, and I'm also 43 years old. That's another way of saying I used to be gay. Now I'm like an advisor on campus. Some old counselor who's like, why, yes, thank you for asking. I do have experience in the field you're interested in. I'm happy to offer you advice and guidance. My office hours are posted. My door is open always. Wide open, you might say. I'm never free, but I'm always available. Oh. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. There used to be people on the internet 10 years ago who would comment on my videos and be like, boy, oh boy, James Adomian, hubba hubba, I'm jerking off right now. Those people are still around, but they've gotten slowly disappointed over the years. They're no longer posting these comments on Tumblr. Now they're on cooler websites. And the comments are more like, when did James Adomian become this like burned out Brooklyn, Silver Lake, beer gut, washed up hipster? And I'm like, please have mercy on me. I'm slowly dying. I'm sorry I can't curate a look for you when it's whack-off time. I am slowly falling down a hole into hell. I also, from time to time, I can look like a failed older gay writer. I love that. The failed writer look, and for me, that's aspirational because I've never tried. And there's something romantic to me about being a like one of these over-the-hill writers who's like, I used to be important. I wrote novels and screenplays, and it's not me who grew more conservative. It's the rest of the country who got too liberal. My ideas are normal. My right-wing gay ideas, why aren't they tolerated? I was rudely thrown out of a Vanity Fair party because I refused to use people's pronouns. Why should a man of letters be burdened with pronouns? I love these guys. I love when they throw their tantrum interviews. Oh, I'm no longer allowed to write what I want to write. You have to follow me on Substack. It's catnip to me. Oh, yes, absolutely. You have a stack I can subscribe to? Please, let me see it. Like, oh, in the Soviet system, I would have been exiled to Siberia, but now, in our current regime, I'm consigned to Substack. And I'm always curious. I'm like, yes, what won't they let you write about? Let me see it. And you go there, and it's the same shit they complain about in the interviews, just on the Substack page. Over and over and over again. You scroll down their blog, and that's all Substack is. Substack is a blog. We just stopped using the word blog because it sounds like vomiting walruses. But you get there, and it's just the same complaints. Oh, I'm a right-wing gay, and they won't allow me to do it. And I'm like, yes, what's the writing that you're trying to do that they won't let you? I'm here. I came to your hovel, you persecuted writer. Show me your crumpled pages. You have to scroll down for months into the past. Finally, 6 months previously, there's finally a post where they're like, here's a sample of my unpublishable novel. Chapter the 17th. Oh, he was wet, all right. The young, virile, gay street worker took one look at the older, gay male writer and could tell that he was wet and willing and yet wise. He decided then and there that, oh yes, he would dominate this older gay male writer. He would force him to submit. He would have his way with his body. As they wiped their brows, the young street worker thought to himself he might roll over and perhaps learn something from this right-wing gay writer. Something wise about the country. Perhaps he might even end the night by subscribing to his Substack page. These are excerpts from my blog. You can find me. This is all me. It started, folks. It started. It only gets wetter from here. People are like, oh yeah, you never had a special before. Then executives are like, we liked the jokes. They were fine. He just literally looked like a wet, sloppy pig that just crawled out of the ocean. I didn't know they had pigs in the ocean. Well, there he is. There. I'm happy with myself, though. I'm very happy with my... sure, yeah, whatever. I look good. I look okay. I look fine. I'm overweight, but it doesn't... You don't care. I wear it well. I shop at Lucky Brand Jeans. That's what you do. They know how to accommodate someone who's heavy. I go into a Banana Republic. They're like, he's fat, sir. He's fat. Get him out of here. He's not leaving. Throw fabric at it. You go into a Lucky Brand Jeans, they're like, come on in. This is home. Let me guess, you're a size 36, right? Sure. Don't worry, everything in the entire store is a size 36. Some of it's smaller, some of it's bigger, a lot bigger, but let me tell you, it all says 36 on it. Even the shirts, even the underwear. 36, 36, 36, baby. When you walk out of here, you're still gonna be a big, heavy guy, but people are gonna see you in the streets and they're gonna go, hey, that fat guy can do something for me. And you don't like it so much, you'll be back. Oh yeah, you'll be back. Because it's Lucky Brand Jeans, they fall apart in 3 weeks. You'll be right back, baby. I look good. I would have looked better in another time. I look like the 9th hottest movie star from 1949. Back when you did not have to be sexually attractive to be a male movie star in cinema. You could be a famous person on a big screen and come out and be like, well, yes, darling, of course I've got my swim trunks up above my belly button. I'm a man, after all. I've almost got them up above my nipples because I'm a real man, I'll tell you that. That's right, I've got 3 towels around my neck. You can't tell quite how beefy I am. I've been swimming and smoking all day. Wouldn't you say it's about time for a cocktail, darling? I like that. I mean, I love that whole world. I love the whole world. I was the other night, I was at a bar watching Turner Classic Movies. That's what my life is like. Great. And there was a bar guy next to me. You know a bar guy? One of these guys that's like, hey, you want to talk to me? I haven't talked to anybody since last night when nobody wanted to talk to me. They just show up at 12:30 and then they disappear at 2:30, right after last call. All right, and he kept needling me. He wanted to talk about the movie. He was like, hey, Casablanca, they couldn't make a movie like this today in Hollywood, could they? And I knew what he wanted, and I didn't give it to him. He kept elbowing me. He was like, a motion picture such as this would never be made in the Warner Brothers of today's regime. He wanted me to wheel around and be like, yeah, I agree with you. Hollywood is way too woke today to make an anti-Nazi movie. Can't make Casablanca today. I thought about it. I didn't want to talk to him about it. I wanted to bring it to the jury, all of you people. Thought about it. I was like, yeah, what? Could you? Yes, absolutely. Why not? Let's make Casablanca. I don't care if it's good or bad. I just want to sit down and watch it. I want to see a Casablanca that's made today. Whoever plays the part of Rick is there up all night, drowning their sorrows, and he's like, of all the safe spaces in all the world, she or they had to wander into my nonprofit. That's right, it's a CBD cigarette. I'll have as much of it as I want and it won't hurt my lungs. Give me another White Claw. I can drink White Claws all night. Play it again, Shazam. You played it for her or them. You can play it for me, Shazam. Thank you. I'm from 1980. I I've slowly time traveled here in an unimpressive but achievable manner. The tail end of Generation X. For a hot minute, all the 1980 kids really tried to pull a fast one on America. And they were like, actually, we're neither Gen X nor millennial. We're something in between. Call us gazillennials. Here's 35 think pieces to try to convince you. And I was like, I was like, shut up, you're embarrassing all of us. We got stuck on the uncool train, you cannot hop off. You're Gen X, deal with it. Yes, and the younger Gen X people don't understand some of the things about the older Gen X generation, like Elvis Costello, but like, that doesn't make you your own generation. And if there's something I believe in more than anything in this country, it's the generation, like designating and criticizing generations. That's what this country was built on. That's an important industry in this country. It employs tens of thousands of people. Generational science, of course. As a generational researcher, I have many things to say about the topic. If you're following generation science, as I like to call it right now, they have a controversy. You look at a Wikipedia page of any generation, they don't know what to call the next ones. They had Gen X, they had Gen Y, now they're at Gen Z. They're the ones growing up and showing up places, and now they're like, what do we call the next people? What could possibly come after Generation Z? We're at the end. I suppose we could round the horn and go to AA or something. Reset the system. My God, who could have foreseen it? Why did you start the countdown at the third to last letter of the alphabet? You had 23 other options to enter. I know the answer to that. The answer to that is Generation X was the first generation of people that had to be shamed en masse. Before that, all the generations were just compliments. They are the greatest generation. Well, they're the silent generation. These ones, they're the baby boom. Bop, bop, baby boom. We're just babies. We fucked everything up, but we're babies. I'm a 75-year-old baby that owns everything. It's not my fault. Generation X was the first group of children where they were like, get rid of, these kids suck, boo, X. There was an infamous cover of a Newsweek magazine where there was a baby in front of a television, like the movie Poltergeist. They were like, look at this poor, stupid child watching TV at home. Yes, you bought it, Dad. They're watching music television. Was it gonna always only ever be the McLaughlin group? I wanna know who are the designated jackasses at Newsweek magazine whose job it is to criticize a generation every 30 or 40 years. Is it an editorial board, or is it like one old monstrous crypt keeper nightmare monster who's like underneath the Newsweek magazine building, frozen, and then they just unfreeze him every few decades. I have been summoned. That means our new cohorts must be shamed. Bring me one of these children. Yes. The new one. Young, so very young. Lazy, yes. These ones do not appreciate the value of hard work, do they? It's their fault the housing market has plateaued. Yeah. Make sure she has nothing. But just to clarify, I'm in agreement with those people. They don't advertise to me in a coherent way at my age. They know how old I am. All the advertisers know how old you are. They're like, oh, you clicked on a few things on the internet. We know you're a 40-something male in America. They even know on the radio. They could tell. They're like, he's listening to Led Zeppelin. He's old. Some of you are like, wait, I'm not old. I listen to Led Zeppelin. Look in the mirror tonight. Bring me the child. I'm expected in my 40s to have a lot more money than I actually do. The advertisers assume you've got money to spare. They kind of know what year you're from, so they're like, hey, remember when you were a kid and you had a Nintendo and you gave it up and you got a Sega Genesis? Well, similarly, it's time to hop out of that Mercedes and squeeze into a new BMW. You're in your 40s, and I'm like, please, calm down, please. I have a bus pass on me, and I know it has $14 on it because I'm using it. I have a reckless nightlife lifestyle. I eat junk food, I'm up late, I drink a lot. I'm here with all of you tonight. What do you think we're doing tonight? This is what it's like for me every night, okay? If I want to feel seen, I need advertisements that sound like they're for a luxury car commercial, but it's actually just for just junk food. Introducing the all-new Doritos D25i. A luxury snacking experience unlike any other in the impulse aisle. Expertly crafted with bespoke spices, xanthan gum sourced in the Alps mountains, and a sodium salt power of 150% of your recommended daily allowance. The Doritos D25i, with a surprisingly crunchy exterior and a sassy, vitamin-rich interior. It'll have you reevaluating what is possible in a snacking chip experience. Drop into your Southern California Dorito dealer for a test taste today. Thanks, yeah. I'm ready to sell out. I've got the fucking voice for it. I like paying attention to ads. I don't have a lot of ads at home on TV, but when I'm on the road and I go into a hotel, I'm like, yes, now I get to check in with TV the way America watches it, with ads. You watch cable TV in a hotel room now, half the country still watches TV that way, and it's just, all it is just commercial advertisements and hurricanes. That's all cable is now. You go into a hotel and they're like, oh, you want a room? We got televisions in all of them. Old-fashioned, hand-cranked, rotary-operated television. It runs on commercials. Come on, Jenny, turn it on. All you gotta do is pump in a commercial sponsor and she'll shoot out a motion picture. Just like a Nickelodeon machine. You see these ads on TV and you realize they've been doing some of the same campaigns for decades. You'll see some ad campaign, you're like, I remember that. Like an old soap opera where you re-encounter it and you're like, that's still on the air? Tom Selleck is still doing the reverse mortgage commercials. It's been 20 years. He's on every network an old person could possibly tune into, even accidentally. There's Tom Selleck. Hey folks, it's me, Tom Selleck. It's not my first time at a rodeo. I'm following you from channel to channel, yeah. It's me, Tom Selleck. Believe it or not, the mustache has a harder time breathing than the man does. Now, they no longer bother to tell you that getting a reverse mortgage is a good idea. That's not part of the pitch in the commercials. Now it's just Tom Selleck defending himself for being in the commercial as he's doing it. Hey folks, it's me, Tom Selleck. Some people have said it's somehow unethical for me to be in these reverse mortgage commercials that I'm doing right now. That's right. You should feel comfortable. You're in a referendum right now. You're on a referendum of whether I, Tom Selleck, am an honorable man. And let me ask you, you're gonna look me in the eye to wandering eye, Tom Selleck, and you're gonna tell me I'm trying to take money out of the pockets of America's seniors? An old lady walks by behind him. He can't help himself. He's like, give me your purse, bitch! I do admire, I admire the audacity of an ad campaign that takes on word of mouth as the enemy, which must be destroyed. At this point, everyone in America has had to tell an older person in their life, hey, whatever you do, don't get a reverse mortgage. Tom Selleck is like, yeah, fuck your grandson. He used to masturbate to me back in the 1980s. Now I'm cashing in. Think I wore all these Hawaiian shirts this whole time for no reason? Now it's my turn, Tom Selleck. The ads always took place in a country lane somewhere where you're supposed to feel comfortable about a shady real estate deal. Like a dirt road, a leaning fence, tall, waving trees. Now, they're moving fast. They don't have the same budget anymore. Now the production, they're like, Tom, we don't have the location for real, but nobody's here. Let's get the shot off. So the ads are now just a little more desperate. Tom Selleck closes the door of a vehicle that's still running, and he's like, reverse mortgage, Tom Selleck, come on. Follow me further into the woods and see what happens. I think Tom Selleck's trying to mug me. Not the worst thing we got in this country by far. Pretty innocent, if you ask me. I'm not gonna blow anyone's minds by saying this country has a bigotry problem, a violent bigotry problem, in a way that hurts a lot of people. We know this. I've got a real quick and stupid solution. Let's trick, thank you for the rhetorical what? You really wanna know? Let's trick America's bigots into caring about less important shit. We're not gonna stop them from being bigoted. Get them obsessed with stuff that doesn't intersect people's lives in a violent way. Let's get those people hung up on the finer rules of English language grammar. Spelling, syntax, punctuation. That is a rabbit hole that people can go down, and they do. And if you have an overactive and judgmental mind, oh, it's a rich field to play around in. You can't end a sentence with a preposition. Do you mean to say whom? Let's get Alex Jones hung up on all that shit. Let's pass off a manila folder to Alex Jones sometime. He'll be like, oh, manila folder? Oh, definitely, all right. Just have some stuff in there about the English language. Within a week, he'll be on Infowars.com. And I'll be like, folks, we received some documents from a reliable source that confirms what we already know. We've known this for a long time. The government has known it since the Reagan administration. There are only 5 vowels in the English language. It goes deeper than the English language. It goes back to Sanskrit. Any Indo-European language, there are only ever 5 vowels. A-E-I-O-U. Y is not a vowel. Y has never been a vowel. There is clearly a glottal stop in the letter Y. I will not submit to your glottalist globalist conspiracy. What's next, folks? What's next? You're gonna go along to get along. You'll be like, okay, I'll pretend to be a good liberal. I'll allow it. I'll say Y can be a vowel. Then what? Then it's a slippery slope. Then it's a classic boiling frog scenario, folks. They're gonna be teaching your children in school that H is a vowel just because it's silent sometimes. We will never remain silent in the face of your silent H tyranny. Ah! Yes, you're right. Give it up for Alex Jones. That was quiet real fast. I think Alex Jones would not be happy with any political system. That's my theory. Whatever world he's reincarnated into, he's like, it's hell! It's hell! And I want it to be! You could curate a place that's perfect for him. You could be like, Alex, we made this for you. We know your kind is endangered. Come. Live out your years here. It's just a petting zoo for you. It's a perfect paradise for you. There's every cabinet that opens, there's just gold bars and ammunition. And every faucet that you turn on, it's whiskey and barbecue sauce. You're like, okay, all right, well, that's something. Let me ask you, are there microphones? There's microphones everywhere. might be able to lure him in within a couple of days. He'd be like, folks, we were lured in with a libertarian utopia, but it turns out that it was built on a foundation of lies. It was not the correct constitutional Texas-style barbecue sauce. It was the evil, satanic, Carolina-style barbecue sauce. And I will never bow down. I will never submit to your vinegar-based conspiracy. Ah! It started. There's a wonderful pattern here, and oh my God. Get it off my television. He was gay, I tolerated it, but now he's a wet gay? I don't go to that. Good God. Let me ask you this. Have you heard the idea for the $1 trillion platinum coin? Let me tell everybody, I love this idea. It's a true political proposal, a $1 trillion platinum coin. The idea is that Congress would pass a law and they would require the US Mint to create a coin made of platinum that's worth $1 trillion. By the same law, the US Federal Reserve Bank would have to purchase that coin for $1 trillion US dollars. That money would then be used to pay down the national debt or perhaps be spent on something more useful and valuable than a large fictional debt to no one. I love this idea. It is both wise and insane. Somehow it manages to be far right and far left at the same time. I have one big note. If you're gonna give me a $1 trillion coin to save the Republic, it cannot be a regular-ass coin-sized coin. It cannot be the silver dollar-sized piece of bullshit you would see advertised late at night after the Tom Selleck commercial. Have you thought about your future with the Franklin Mint? If that's a $1,000 coin and we're scaling this up, we're talking about a $1 trillion coin, you gotta put in some, diameter, some circumference. It should be half the size of this stage. It should be, most importantly, hefty, unwieldy, clumsy, and difficult to carry for the two idiot workmen, the Laurel and Hardy type stooges, were hired to carry it across the street from the US Mint to the Federal Reserve Bank. Hey, careful, you moron, it's $1 trillion. Hey, say, boss, I've been wondering, how much is $1 trillion anyway? It's $1 million, you absolute mark. Now, is that $1 million or is it $1 million? It's the same thing. Don't you know math? Slap. Ow! Oh no! Thadoon. $1 trillion coin rolled right in the river. Well, boss, I guess, make a wish. You don't make a wish on $1 trillion coin, you sunk into the Potomac, you mackerel! And then the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, pops out of a second-story window with a cigar in his mouth. Hey, you two lunkheads, where's my platinum coin? Yes, sir, Mr. Bankerman. Right away, sir. Give me your coin. We lost the coin, boss. Give me any coin in your pocket. But we went cashless 2 years ago. And then the Federal Reserve Chairman turns to camera and he goes, that's all we've been trying to get him to do the whole time. It's a public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen. That is the only impression of the Federal Reserve Chairman you're going to see this year. Thank you for indulging me. I don't get a lot of auditions these days. I just do these shows as a way of basically auditioning characters that could still be played by a gay actor over the age of 40. It's not a long list, but those guys, absolutely. Gay actors over the age of 40. Hey, you look like a bucket of shit. Well, you look like yesterday's overalls. It doesn't hurt anybody. Gay actors over 40. There's a few others on this list. If you have a Game of Thrones type show, anything with torches and horses and conspiracies, not the king, never the king, the advisor to the king. That's a gay actor over the age of 40. My lord, perhaps our armies can be used more deviously. I do not command the sweep of history, but I recommend that it be used in a more Machiavellian manner. There is a generation that must be shamed. Bring them to me. If you have any movie that takes place in the Renaissance, loosely defined, it's the beginnings of modern science, but still like horse shit all over the streets. The lunatic genius at the fringe of society with his hair on fire with new ideas, staring at the stars like a Galileo Galilei type fuck. What? Could it be a fourth moon around Jupiter? Someone must tell the prince. That's a gay actor over the age of 40, folks. Oh, I forgot my gossiping slippers. Yes. Oh, and now the candle with the little loop on it, and all the flames gone out. Wizards, all wizards. We can't go back. From now on, forever, all wizards. My sexuality, though widely known in the trade papers, will make no appearance whatsoever in this motion picture. It will be replaced completely with the abstract concept of magic. You shall not see me express affection for someone of my own gender in a way that endangers the overseas box office. Brave. It's really brave. That's brave. Thank you. Yes. Speaking of wizards, yes, to answer all your questions on your minds, I did watch The Wizard of Oz again. I need to make it an even 1,000 times that I'd seen this movie. Put on The Wizard of Oz. It's a perfect film. And that means there's lots of things wrong with it, but they just make it better. The Munchkin City at the beginning of the movie has a fully functioning political system that's better than anything I've seen in my life. It's better than Plato's Republic. They have everything you want. They have the mayor of Munchkin City. That's a strong executive branch. They've got some kind of police force marching around, law and order. They got the Lollipop Guild. Let me tell you, the Lollipop Guild, they could really shut down the candy in the Munchkin City if they don't get the contract they want. You know what I mean? Where the real power is, the Lollipop Guild. Munchkin City also has a coroner. They have a coroner. And he's called into service because a house falls on the first witch in the movie. Sorry, spoiler alert. The house falls on the witch, and that's considered an unusual death under the jurisdiction of the county of the Land of Oz, so it triggers an automatic autopsy report. And of course, there's a coroner. It's a real city-state. He comes out. He has a green hat, an adorable red beard. He has a scroll that he unfurls, and he sings his autopsy report in music. As coroner, I vouch for her, I've thoroughly examined her, and she's not only merely dead, she's really most sincerely dead. Bum, 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 bum. What a beautiful system. We could use that in the real world. Why are we limited to only Anglo-Saxon common law? If there's a good idea that comes from fiction, let's take it. There's so many controversial deaths that happen in our real universe. If you could have musical autopsy reports regularly, that would heal a nation. If in 1968, when Senator Robert Kennedy was gunned down here in Los Angeles at the Ambassador Hotel, if the LA County coroner at the time, Thomas Noguchi, had come out and sung his autopsy report, we would all be better off for it. It's impossible that Senator Kennedy could have been killed by Sirhan, because Sirhan was always standing in front of him, but the fatal bullets all came from behind him. Dun, 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 dun. That leaves the most likely culprit to be the American deep state who had to prevent a Kennedy from taking office 5 years after his brother was killed by the same people. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you. I teach a film class also. After the show, we break up into small groups. We have little discussions and stuff. People fuck me for my taste in movies. Same with television. My finger is on the pulse. I'm watching the coolest TV, the stuff all of you are talking about, on the edge of your thumbs on your social media. I'm watching Planet Earth from 2003. David Attenborough narrates Planet Earth. He is the greatest voiceover artist alive. David Attenborough can say something that you have always known since before you went to school and make you feel like you're learning it for the first time. The Earth is a planet. It orbits the sun. Its surface, mostly round, is comprised primarily of liquid water. When the temperature becomes cold enough, the water will freeze and become ice. When the ice again warms, it will melt and return to liquid water. You're like, what? Yes! I've always known this, but it's the answer to everything. David Attenborough is the greatest voiceover artist alive, and he knows it. He knows he has status. He knows there's a sir in David Attenborough. You can hear this sometimes when he's narrating a scene, and you're watching something with puffins or something. And you can, if you pay close attention, listen to it, you know there's a script. But when he's in the voiceover booth, he's David Attenborough. He doesn't really have to stick to the script if he doesn't want to. He'll be like, oh, what's the next segment we'll be reading? I see here the puffins. Well, I'm sure you've put in a lot of work into the script. But if you don't mind, I think I might like to speak extemporaneously on the puffins for a moment. The puffins return to Orkney Island in the late spring. They will waddle on land because they are obese. Oh, that's right, I'll be fat-shaming the puffins a bit. There's nothing they can do to stop me. And it's a right good bit of fun. The puffins have gorged themselves on krill. They are plump, their bodies are full of calories. Were they to enter a Lucky Brand jeans, they would be a size 36. They would make a tempting target for their ever-present predator, the orca. But if this hungry young adolescent orca indulges in one too many tasty puffin treats, he might himself become a right round little bastard. The show is so good, it has spawned many spin-off shows. They have lots of different networks have Planet Earth colonies. The show has done much better than our civilization. Planet Earth is everywhere. My favorite one is Planet Earth Dinosaurs. I know that there is a real title for it. I don't care. It's Planet Earth Dinosaurs. I understand it's a BBC production too, but I know that it had to have been pitched by a California cocaine guy. We've got it. We fucking got it. Thank you for the meeting. First of all, David Attenborough, much respect. Planet Earth meets the fucking dinosaurs. Planet Earth dinosaurs. Fuck yeah! The BBC executives are like, right, we understand the basics of the pitch. You see, the problem is there's so little we know about the dinosaurs. We don't know if they moved in herds, if they had feathers. We don't know if they ate their young. You see, we know almost as little about the dinosaurs as we do the Armenians. If we were to produce Planet Earth dinosaurs, we would have to make up most of it. David Attenborough's in the room and he's like, oh, I don't mind making up a few things about the dinosaurs. That's exactly what he does. He speaks with the confidence as if he saw dinosaurs with his own eyes last year on vacation. He'll be like, oh, the baby tyrannosaur will hatch in the late spring. He will then enter his mother's pouch, where he will survive for 6 to 8 weeks, suckling on her mammalian reptilian teats, until he is old enough for school. He will have a hard time tying his shoes with his tiny arms. But when he is bullied, his roar will be mighty. I love when you can see the inner life of the voiceover artist bleeding through into their work. It happens all the time on planet Earth. You're watching like the Triceratops or something, and then David Attenborough's narrating it, and you're like, that has nothing to do with the Triceratops. That's just your ideas about society. It'd be like, the female Triceratops goes into heat in the late spring. Being the dominant sex of her species, she will defend her territory against rival Triceratops cows. When she finds a sufficiently submissive male Triceratops partner, she will mount him, dominating him violently from the rear. She will penetrate him with all three of her horns. When his semen has been harvested, to continue the miracle of Triceratopsian life, the male Triceratops' ordeal will not be through. He will then be made to kneel. A studded collar will be put round his neck. Dark eyeshadow applied round his eye sockets. A vinyl copy of Depeche Mode will play. And he will be forced to refer to his mistress as, yes, madame. Because this Triceratops has been a very naughty boy. And sometimes even the Triceratops prefers when he tricerabottoms. Sounds like we got a couple tricerabottoms in the room. I'm with you there, babies. I'm with you. I want to tell, I got to get out of here, and I don't know how to do that except, again, like an undercover cop being like, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. I'm gay, and I'm not just a summertime gay. I'm not one of these, like, Labor Day and it's over, you know? I've got the pink sticker on my driver's license to prove it. Under the wrong administration, that could turn into a nightmare, but I've got it nonetheless. And I don't just come out here and say that I'm gay to advance my career, although God knows that's one of the side effects. I'm a real gay. I want to tell you more about it. And some of you are like, I wish you would tell me less about it. Oh my God, turn it off, honey. It's too late. He's going more gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I was, but you'll love to know this. I was on Grindr, and then I heroically deleted Grindr over and over again. I deleted Grindr 12 times in the last 5 years. I was like, nope, don't eat it. Don't eat it again. I got back on Grindr during the pandemic. And some of you are in the same position. You're like, I haven't been on Grindr in a while. What's it like? Now, let me give you the shortcut. I got the memo. Here's the tip. Grindr now is a social media network for bottoms to meet other bottoms. That's what Grindr is. You go on Grindr and they're like, boodle-doo, hello, bottom. And you're like, whoa, that's a little forward. And they're like, well, why not? Here's all the other bottoms in your neighborhood, conveniently organized by how close they are to you. You have 3 possibilities with this information. You could be bitter about it, you could make fabulous brunch plans, or you could sit on each other's butts and see what happens. I've tried all of those things, and baby, any one of them makes a great Sunday. They do allow you to pay $30 for Grindr Extra. And then, and only then, are you allowed to search for specific, exotic sexual fetishes, like tops. I heard this, and I was like, what? $30 just to find tops near me? I'm in! I was like a Tex Avery cartoon character. My asshole fell out. Get back in here! Top City, here I come. I had my phone in my hot little hands. I was like, show me the tops, show me the tops. So here I was in Los Angeles with the tops on Grindr. And I scrolled down once. I was in San Diego already. I scrolled down again. I was in Tierra del Fuego. I was like, where are they? Where are these tops? They gotta be in here somewhere. They gotta be programmed into the Matrix, a certain number of them. It's like a game of Minesweeper. You just have to hit them. And I don't know, I don't have the answer to this. I don't know, maybe they're just hard at work. They're not looking. They got an early morning tomorrow, and they got a call time somewhere in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Or maybe the time has come, as we all predicted, and they're not on Grindr anymore. They're on Substack, and you gotta follow them there. I am, you'll love to hear this, I am single. That's right. I know there's, out there in the world, there's Renaissance-style courtiers who are like, the word is that he's available. And a fresh 43 years old. Perhaps an arrangement can be made. I did have a boyfriend. Unfortunately, I had to break up with my boyfriend because he dumped me. I think it was a good reason. He was like, James, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I was like, see, I don't need that energy in my life right now. He was like, James, we're no longer together. And I was like, see, that sounds like a you path, and I support you from my path. It's tough when you have to break up with your boyfriend because he dumps you, you know? It's also tough when you were almost perfect for each other, and we were really, like, I mean, speaking for myself, he was my type, you know? He was a total top. He had Italian style. He believed that 9/11 was an inside job, and he did not make a big deal about it. Perfect. That's a rare catch. But then you take a look at yourself. When you go through a breakup and you're like, how can I be the better version of myself the next time someone makes the mistake of coming into my life and into my body? And that's what you're supposed to do. And I took a hard look at myself and I was like, James, how can you improve? And I found something and I realized, well, you don't sound the way you're supposed to sound when you're getting fucked. And some of you are like, well, why are you so hard on yourself? You can sound like whatever you want. I know. I'm basing it on some sound evidence, all right? I'm basing this on the classics of the gay cinema. You know what I'm talking about. The rough, violent gay pornography. This isn't hard for any of you to listen to. We're on the same page right now. This is easy material. All of you get fucked like pigs, or you're in the room when it happens. Those experts, those performers, and those works of art, when they are being penetrated, they sound like they're made of roller skates and lollipops. Oh, wow. Uh-huh. Super, yeah. Like you had an anime cartoon and just removed anything that was possibly negative or dangerous. Oh, whoa, oh, wow, uh-huh, and primarily, yes. I don't have that. I can do that for a few seconds, then I lose it. When I am getting fucked in my asshole, I sound like somebody's dad woke up in the middle of the night and didn't turn the lights on. Ow! God damn it! Shit! Hold on. Jesus Christ, who put that there? Am I the only one who cleans up in this place? All right, that's it. Everybody get out here. Tonight you are all gonna learn that I am the one who is actually in charge. So what can I say, everybody? I'm a real sweet boy, but I guess I might be a rough fuck. And more than anything, I would like to once again point out that is a character that can only be played by a gay actor over the age of 40. Thank you. You've been wonderful. Have a great night.